What's up, YouTube? It's Black Sword here. So, I was reading. I was reading IMBD, and sometimes IMBD, it's kind of right on with it, but there's a couple instances where they weren't. Frozen was an example of this, and so was Superman. But I needed to come to YouTube. I came out of retirement to particularly talk about this one horrible movie. It Follows. I saw this 2 weeks ago on a date, and I feel as if I need to speak out against this movie. For those of you who think that it's going to be this glorious movie because the critics have been smoking crack, and clearly half of the people that have been writing on IMDb have been smoking crack as well. I did this with Man of Steel. I did this with The Dark Knight, and I will do this with this movie. This movie is whack. Out of 10 stars, it really should have probably got 3.5. That's pretty high for it. If you're really trying to be nice to it, maybe 4. But it was kind of whack. So, spoiler alert. All right, spoiler alert. So, It Follows. At the beginning of the movie, it has a lot of inconsistencies. And generally, of course, you got to be willing to overlook some plot holes. But, some of them really weren't able to ignore. You can't ignore it. Like, some of that stuff was really, really hard to ignore. And whoever worked with continuity on this film should have been fired off break. We'll talk about the setting of the movie. I think this, from what I hear, the setting's supposed to be the 1980s. Well, okay. 1980s. The movie theater, from when you see in from Jump Street, that thing looks like it's in the 1940s. And, of course, the protagonist and all the actors drive, 1980s cars. 1980s, 1970s cars. But there are modern cars. If you look in the movie, there are modern cars in the movie. They're watching 1950s movies. Like, it's like, get it, but the TV's from the 1980s. It's like, get it together. Like, what are you? Like, you don't have a clear, defined sense of the time period in which it takes place. And whether you think this movie is good or not, everybody, I think, has at least brought that point up. And then on top of that, the girl has an e-reader with her little plastic case. Come on now. Like, have a defined period of where you're working with and stick within the period. But that isn't even the worst part of the movie. It pissed me off, but it wasn't the worst part. Then we get on to the next part. We had the main girl. Okay, apparently, old girl, with her boyfriend, has sex with him, and, he ties her up, he chloroforms her, ties her up, and he puts her in a chair, and then he's like, he's acting all freak. He's like, oh, it's coming, you pass it on having sex, and so and so and so and so, and apparently, if you have sex with whoever is it, with sex whoever has the curse, you're it. And it's going to follow you to have sex with you. And once they have sex with you, you die. I don't know if that was like the director was preaching abstinence or safe sex with that intention. But yeah. Basically, it's like a walking STD that follows you and has sex with you and kills you. So, she gets a curse. All right? She gets a curse. Okay, understandable. She gets a curse. Girl comes up, naked. And then he's like, walks incredibly slow, apparently. So, there are 110 plot holes with that I don't understand. That could have been dealt with. It could have been easily passed off. It didn't seem like it was like a Jeepers Creepers. It wants you and will go to the ends of the earth to get you and only you because it picked you. No, you can pass it off. Pass it off by having sex. And all you really, and since it walks, apparently, all you really need to do is go to Vegas and have sex with a prostitute, and it's over. Like, you'll never see it again. I guarantee it. You'll never see it again. Because the time it would take for that thing to walk from wherever the hell it is, because it walks, to walk from wherever the hell it is to Vegas, the prostitute would have been had sex with like the other person. That person probably be across the country. They kill it, whatever walks and talks to that person. If that person, has sex with another person, that person gets it. So it will really never go to you. Or you would probably make it to very, 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 very old age before it gets to you. And by that point, it'd be like, well, fuck it anyway. But that's not even the bad part. Not even the monster's the bad part. Even though the monster's terrible. I can't lie. It had some times, I was jumping a little bit. Another part that really kind of pissed me off about the movie is the characters. I hated the characters. I hated them. You have the forgettable girl who is on her e-reader in the 1980s. The e-reader girl. Then you have the sister. Apparently, I think both of them are sisters. I don't know. It really isn't clear. You have the absentee parent, the mother, who you see one time in the whole movie. And that's after she was, quote unquote, raped by the guy who gave her the curse. So, that's it. Really that simple. And you have the guy who is like the desperate, lonely guy who really wants the girl who has the curse and who keeps reminding her, hey, I have a penis. I can get rid of the curse. And then you have the stoner guy with the gun. So the characters are absolutely forgettable about this movie. You really care nothing for any of them. You don't really, you kind of want to scream in the theater, just have sex with the prostitute. And the curse will go away. And then, they don't believe her at first. But, of course, something happens. And apparently, she's believed now. They go to the beach house. She's believed now. And, they drive off. They try to figure out the guy. They try to track down the guy who gave her the curse. The guy who gave her the curse, he's not really descriptive at all. Apparently. He's not descriptive. He doesn't really, you don't really get an origin story of whatever the hell that thing is, which makes you believe that they're going to try to build a franchise around this shit movie. I truly do believe that. They're going to build a franchise around this shit movie. And you don't really get an origin story of whatever the hell that thing is. And it's terrible. It really is terrible. And, apparently you can shoot it, but it'll come back. That's original. You can't get rid of it, apparently, because nobody knows where the hell it came from. Nobody knows who the hell the original person is who gave this to everybody else is. They don't even try to track down that person who gave the thing to everybody else. It flabbergasts me. Of course, in horror movies, people are going to act stupid. Okay, fine, understandable. But, when you act so stupidly, it doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. And the plot holes are so big. And, let's get to the next point that I have my problem with. She gives the curse away, finally, to the stoner guy. Apparently, the thing was walking for days, and they're like, I haven't seen it. Oh, I haven't seen it, and it kills it. Apparently, it can't open doors or anything on its own. If it's locked, it can't open the door. It broke the window, and it climbs in, and it morphed into his mother. And it stared at her. She apparently saw it. She ran into the house, jumped into the house, and apparently the guy didn't pick up his phone or what have you. And she was saying, don't open the door. And he says, Mom, and then the thing rapes him and kills him. Come on now. Come on now. If the monster only has sex with you and kills you, what the fuck? Really, what the hell? That was stupid. And then, long story short, now I'm gonna spoil everything for you. But they try to have a grand master plan to electrocute it. Doesn't work. They throw a tarp over it so they can see it. Boy shoots it in the head. You think it's gone, but it's not. It's not gone. And then, apparently she feels so sorry for the guy because, she's a sad sack. Did she have sex with him? And now he has to curse. So, fast forward to the end. They're both holding hands and the thing's walking after them. So apparently you can't do it. So this movie was terrible. All right. The music was originally good, but they kept playing the fucking music, and there was no part of the thing that didn't have music in it. And at first, a good soundtrack. It had a good soundtrack, but when you keep playing the freaking music over and over again, it drives your ass crazy. Like, I hated the music. At first, I'm like, oh, okay, the music pretty good. I'm vibing with the music. Now the music sucked. Nah. They made it like, it's something I can't explain. It's something you have to see how terrible it is. It's like, what's better than Dragon Ball Evolution? That's the worst movie ever made. But it's up there, man. Don't believe the hype. Save yourself some money. It's going to probably come on Netflix because it's going to be some shit. It should have honestly been a straight to DVD movie. But save your money. All right? Save your money. Don't watch It Follows. Go watch something else or go bowl or do something else with your weekend. If you really want to spend the money, movie hop and watch it. Don't pay money to see it. All right? You're going to be disappointed. Because the critics built this thing up to some great grand height, and it's not. Don't watch it and pay to see it. You download it, cool. If you like me and you had a date want to take you there, cool. Go know that you're going into it. Set your expectations low, and then maybe you'll surpass them. But or maybe you'll meet them, all right? Don't go in with your expectations high for this movie, all right? Don't watch it and pay to see it. It's not like, I'm not saying it's not worth watching, but if I had a choice whether or not I was going to pay to see it or see it on Netflix or see it, rent it on Redbox or something, I probably rent it on Redbox. Then it'd be free. Then it'd be like, I'll only be out like $4 as opposed to going to the movies and being out more money. Don't believe the hype. All right. I come out of retirement to protect y'all from bad movies, and this is one of the bad ones. I had to come out of retirement for. But all right, guys. Hope you heed my warning of It Follows. It's ridiculous. If you've seen It Follows and you also believed it is terrible, or if you believed It Follows was good, comment. I'll gladly talk. I want to see the conversation. So have a good day, guys, and